I'm a 26-year-old woman, and I live in the guest behind my brother's main house. It's not some random setup. I moved in right after finishing grad school. Our parents passed away a few years ago, and ever since then, my older brother Greg has been my closest family. He's 34, a successful software engineer, and honestly, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have been able to focus on my studies. He's helped me with rent, food, and even gives me a $1,200 monthly stipend to help cover personal expenses. Greg says it's part of a promise he made years ago. Back when he was going through a major financial disaster, unemployment, debt collectors, the works, I helped him get back on his feet. I drained most of my small college savings and worked nights tutoring high school kids to cover our shared expenses. So now that he's doing well, he insists on supporting me until I'm fully set up with a job I like. I never asked for it, and I definitely never abused it. His wife, Victoria, on the other hand, has never liked this arrangement. Victoria is 30 and works as a freelance designer. She's one of those people who pride themselves on being completely financially independent. She sees my presence as a crutch Greg keeps holding on to. Even though I pay my own rent for the guest house and never step into the main house unless invited, she still treats me like I'm overstaying my welcome. I've always tried to stay polite and low-key, but every time money is brought up, she tenses up. Things only got worse when Greg surprised me with a brand new laptop last month. He didn't ask for her opinion or even tell her. It just showed up in a box on my porch one morning with a sticky note that said for the new job hunt. Victoria didn't say anything directly, but she made sure to slam every cupboard door in the kitchen that morning when I walked in for coffee. She's never confronted me openly, but I've picked up on the passive-aggressive comments. Once, she jokingly told Greg in front of me that birds eventually leave the nest, while looking straight at me. Another time, I found her wandering around my guest house looking for scissors. She didn't even bother knocking. I told her I didn't have any, and she left without saying much. Things started to feel off a few days after that incident. I always charge my phone overnight on the desk by the window. That morning, I found it moved to the opposite side of the table, face down. I usually place it face up. It's one of those habits you just notice when something's different. At first, I thought maybe I knocked it over in my sleep or something. But then it happened again 2 nights later. This time, I was sure it hadn't been where I left it. That's when I enabled the audit tool in my messaging app. It's not something most people use, but it lets you track device logins, message drafts, and any unusual activity. That morning, my heart dropped a little when I saw a flagged entry. My account had been accessed during the night. A separate device had logged into it using an authenticated session. The login timestamp matched the exact hours I had been asleep. I didn't confront anyone. I just changed all my passwords, revoked all active sessions, enabled 2-factor authentication, and locked everything down. Then I remembered something. Months ago, Victoria had borrowed my phone just to send a quick message while hers was dead. It didn't even cross my mind back then, but that might have saved her a session token or some residual access that got reactivated. Maybe that's how she got in. I started watching everything after that, every notification, every background sync. I even changed the Wi-Fi password in my guest house and disconnected all devices that weren't mine. But the strangest part was that no messages were deleted or altered. It was as if someone was quietly browsing through them. So I started documenting everything. I created logs of login times, IP addresses, and device signatures. I took screenshots, saved backups, and even printed out some of the flagged activity just to be safe. I installed a small USB logger to track physical interactions with my laptop. I didn't want to jump the gun and accuse anyone without solid proof. But I had a pretty good idea of who was behind it. Victoria's been trying to push me out for months now. If she couldn't convince Greg to cut the stipend directly, maybe